Renee Bernstein is here from St. John's Ambulance to help us get prepared for the fallout of an earthquake.
Exactly.
So we're not talking about what to do when it hits. It's how to be prepared for the hours, minutes, hours, and days after. Let's start right away with what we need in our home.
So very important, I want to say three things.
Okay.
You need to have a plan. You need to rehearse that plan as well. You need to get a first aid, you need to get a kit, emergency preparedness kit, and you also need to learn first aid, very important.
Right.
The most important thing is that you are self-sufficient for 3 days. So you want to be able to help your family and your neighbors, okay? So these are the kinds of kits that you can get.
Okay, walk us through what we have in our kits.
This is a home kit. Very important, it must come in a sturdy backpack, so should you need to evacuate, you can get out very quickly, and everything needs to be in one place.
And where do we keep this, Renee?
You should keep this in a warm, dry environment, like in the garage, in a storage unit, but it should be really readily accessible.
Okay.
Okay. What you should have in it, you need food and water, very important. That can last you 3 days. These are very low fuss that you don't need to cook.
This is just straight nutrition.
Very high calorie nutrition bars, water or water tablets that you can make water. Then you need to think about shelter. So if you need to create a tent or whatever, there's a tarp, there's rope. You also need to think about warmth and protection. So these emergency foil blankets are very good because they can be squished into that backpack.
Right, and you've got a little kid's backpack here.
Yes, this is for the kids' comfort items because you want to reduce anxiety. So the kids need to have their items packed that when you're ready to roll, they have their little stuffies and their little things that make them feel good.
Right, and if anybody has medication, you need to make sure that...
Very important. That is one of the most important things to add. So these are the basics that you need. Your light, your top, your tape.
A tool.
Very important that you have a radio because you need to get directions from authorities on what to do.
All of a sudden, we don't have our phones. We don't have our smartphones.
Exactly.
You can't plug anything in, right?
Exactly.
A whistle, good one.
Whistle, very important. If you're under rubble or under something that's caved in, very important to have the whistle with you. And your flashlight. Now, the other important thing is you need this. You need a sign. If everybody is okay in the household, you have to let authorities know. So very important to put the sign up as quickly as possible in the window. Or if you need help, the authorities will know to come and help you. The other things that you need to add to this, familiarize yourself with the kit as soon as possible when you get it. You can buy these kits readily made. You have to add prescription medications to it. So you need to get extra prescription medications.
For how long?
At least 2 weeks, I would advise.
2 weeks, okay.
Contacts. People have their contacts stored in their telephones, but they can't remember them.
Right.
So print the contacts off.
I have a little piece of paper that I keep in my wallet.
Exactly.
That has the emergency phone numbers on it at all times because I don't know anybody's phone. I just say call Riaz and there it is.
Exactly.
So we've got one in our house.
So there's one for the house.
Right.
You also need to think that it's not necessarily going to happen when you're at home. It could happen when the kids are at school, so you've got to know your kids' emergency procedures for school. Also at work, it's very similar to these items. And then also when you're at work inside the building, you should be putting up signs if people are okay. On the door. Door hangers. If somebody needs help in a room, the authorities need to know that.
And this is for?
Most importantly, you can also be in a car. So this is for your car. So most of the items are in this. This has a full first aid kit as well. Each one has a first aid kit in it.
Okay, so this is available how?
Also at our website, sja.ca.
sja.ca. And you're live tweeting?
Live tweeting now. If anyone needs tips or has any questions, we have somebody, a EP specialist on board right now.
Earthquake preparedness specialist?
Yes.
Okay. On board right now, what's your Twitter handle?
It is at sjabc_SJA, _SJA BCYT. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. You're all over it. Renee Bernstein, you're making us all feel much more comforted as we get prepared for any sort of earthquake or natural disaster. Know your plan. Also know where the high ground is near wherever you live, as we do live on the coast, and tsunami risks are always part of this.